Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, wherever you may be. Justin Abramson here with you for an Atlantic League third place game. We've got Gabriel Panic and Harry Wu going at it in game one of a best of three. These guys both made it to the semifinals before Harry lost to Tim Furrow in one semifinal, and Gabriel lost to upstart Josiah Emery. So those two guys will be meeting in the championship series at some later date. Hoping to have that for you very soon. But in the meantime, we've got this third place game for you. Just game one today. Haven't played game two yet, but want to make sure to bring that one to you in a timely manner. So let's get started. We are going to be watching from Gabriel's point of view today. Gabriel is the USSR. Harry was the higher seed in this matchup, so he was allowed to pick the sides, and he selected the U.S. Folks, hold on just a moment. Something is wrong with this full screen issue. You know what? It could be an issue. It looks like actually an issue with the recording. Yep. Okay. So we are just going to keep going as it is. I'm sorry about that. Looks like the recording is cut off, but we should be able to see everything that we need to see. But yeah, just not able to see the very top of the screen. Okay, Harry going to go with a Marshall setup, and I've been preoccupied with the screen issues. Gabriel has a pretty good hand here. Oh, going to go with Purge. Interesting. So 3-2-3 doing the Marshall fake out and then going Purge. And Gabriel decides to headline Vietnam, which I think was the only appropriate headline here, and then go ahead and take Thailand with a 3-op. Good play by him. In this case, if I were Gabriel, I would want to hold defectors if I could, but he may end up having to hold D-stall because he's going to definitely want to get DEFCON down before he ends up going with that D-stall. Wow, and Harry decides he's going to go ahead and stop Asia domination. With 2 Pakistan, 2 South Korea. That's the standard 4-op response to taking Thailand. But I think, especially after a purge, if Gabriel had Asia scoring, he would have scored it there. And I think Harry probably knows that. But perhaps Harry has the scoring himself. So now Gabriel in a little bit of an interesting position. He does not have either war card, so can't really punish Harry for taking Pakistan or South Korea. Thinking about a West Germany poke, I like this play as the U.S. He's probably not going to use D-stall in France or Algeria, so this gets you access to France, gives the USSR a little something to worry about, because they're going to want to get one more in Italy, they're going to want to get one more in France, they're going to want to get one more in West Germany, obviously, so just gives them more to think about. Wow, okay, and Gabriel instead decides to go for a Pakistan coup, rolls just a 2. That's oftentimes a little bit of, honestly, that's a little bit of a desperation play there from Gabriel. He doesn't have the war, so he would need a big roll, and then Harry would certainly coup back if the roll went well, and he would need that roll to be small. As it is, Harry decides to try for Thailand, misses on the roll. Gabriel's going to need a 6 to really do anything here. Oh, and he gets the 6. That's huge. That is a big roll. That was a 6 or bust. Because even a 5, Harry can just retake Iran. But with a 6, Gabriel with 1 in there and gets himself access to Pakistan. And now with just a 3-op, yep, can only put 1 back in Iran. Gabriel wastes no time filling Iran back up. He needs to secure presence in the Middle East. And now we do see DEFCON at 2, and there is Asia scoring. So, indeed, Harry did have it, and this is an appropriate time for a D-stall. with EEU gone. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, folks, for anybody just joining us. It is turn 1, and there's just an issue with the recording, and only a little bit of the top and bottom of the screen were cut off. And DEF CON is at 2. It's something we will have to keep an eye on. So with his D-stall, interesting, Gabriel decides, so he's already got Thailand, decides to go 1 Angola and just go 3 South America. I wonder if he was thinking about whether he might go a little more aggressive and go 1 Venezuela, 1 Chile. Instead of going to Brazil, go to Algeria. But perhaps that would be spreading himself too thin. Oh, no. Okay. So, yeah, not a bad decision there to protect against the poke in the Middle East and take domination. But I like a second in Venezuela there a little bit more than I like. The Middle East poke is good, but it's only really that good if your opponent draws the scoring and you don't get Nasser. But now a Colombia play here is going to cause some headaches for Gabriel. Yeah, I would definitely want to go into Egypt if I were Harry. I would want to go to Egypt to stop domination and also to stop Nasser from, getting unfettered access to Libya. And then I'd also want to go into Colombia just to threaten Venezuela. I'd also want to get into India to protect against the IP war. Okay, so he's okay with with being dominated in the Middle East. And okay, not great hand here, but Nasser is a good headline. CNS also a welcome event, and IP war good to have as well with the situation in Western Asia. And this may be a situation, I think this probably is a situation where Gabriel's going to want to play duck for ops, would be my guess. If it were me, I think I certainly would play duck for ops. A coup really only makes sense in Panama, and then if you coup Panama, even if you roll well, you're going to lose Venezuela. So I like a Nasser headline here. I think that's good, followed by duck for ops to cover up Venezuela and maybe take Libya as well. Oh, and there's Europe. So interesting there. Harry headlines Europe and gets his domination. He must have, so Suez is gone. I suspect Harry has Sac-Govs and de Gaulle in his hand. Or maybe he doesn't have de Gaulle and knows he's going to lose France if Gabriel has it. So might as well just headline Europe anyway and hope you get lucky. But yeah, Gabriel thinking about playing duck and cover for ops. Like 100% agree with this move. I don't know how important Argentina is though. I might go 1 Lao. That's you want to start working your way toward Western Asia, potentially start filling up the Southeast Asian countries. I doubt Harry's in a position here to try miracle realigns, but maybe he would. Harry's headlining of Europe might also suggest, that he's got Middle East as well. And so with 2 scoring cards, just wanted to dump 1 in the headline, figuring that, and he might want to dump Europe instead, because figuring if Gabriel does not have Nasser, Harry should be able to even things up in the Middle East. Instead, it's going to be a nice domination, nice easy domination. Whether Harry has the scoring this turn or it comes out next turn, that'll be an easy 4, maybe more. 4 right now, but certainly Gabriel will want to take Libya before the end of the turn. And Korean War also in Gabriel's hand, so I would think he will certainly trigger that. And try and take the 50-50 shot to win the war. U.S.-Japan is a card, as USSR you'd love to hold, but I think Defector is even more valuable to hold. So it'd be interesting to see what Gabriel wants to do with that, if he wants to go to space or if he wants to just take the ops. might be dictated by what happens in South Korea. Because Gabriel, as it stands, if he loses the war, is going to be down battlegrounds, unless, of course, he can win an IP war as well. And certainly Harry will want to... Harry's not really going to be able to get much done in the Middle East. Harry's going to want to take India to protect Pakistan. Obviously, take both India and Pakistan. They can protect each other from the war. And then certainly Algeria, important. Have not seen decall yet. Okay, a big 4-op. Yep, goes to India. Yep, like that decision. Now I think is a good time to. I think this is a good time for Gabriel to try his luck on one of the wars. Take your pick. He's going to go thinking about Korean. And here we go. Oh. I think I like India better here. Yep. Oh, just misses on the roll. Gets a 2, needed a 5. And now needs to get the Korean War if he wants to get domination. And Harry's going to go to space first. I should have... That was... Yeah. Yeah, that was a mistake. And it's a mistake by me as well. Saying that he should try his luck on one of the war. Did not think about that. As it is, Harry gets to space first, and Gabriel misses on both wars. So a big, big turn of events here for Harry. And I'm going to just see if I can... This is a little bit awkward. Sorry, folks. Just going to see if there's anything I can do with this video. Yeah, it's just not anything we can do to see the VP tracker, because I know that's important. Okay, well, sorry, folks. I did not notice that until... Oh, sorry about that. CNS there. So the one play you missed was CIA going into Saharan states. And Gabriel not going to contest Nigeria, wants to keep his MilOps VPs. DEFCON is 2. It's turn 2. The annoying thing is you cannot see the VP tracker. So I'm sorry about that, folks. Okay, AI War. More MilOps. Oh, and a 1. Needed a 5 there. So 0 for 3 on wars, all right next to each other. Yeah, taking Lao is good, and then yeah, U.S. Japan. You know, unfortunate to give up for the USSR, but maybe less unfortunate with Korean War gone. You don't have to think about that modifier anymore. It would in this situation hand over Asia domination, but a simple 1-op play in Indonesia would do the same thing. So Gabriel could send that to space, but I think I would give up U.S. Japan because Libya needs to be taken here. If Gabriel does not take Libya, then Harry should poke. I would expect to see Harry poke Egypt. And he's going to have to give up Sakgub. So thought they might have Sakgubs in his hand, given that he headlined Europe, and indeed he did. Oh, I like taking out of West Germany. Italy doesn't need to be repaired immediately. Gabriel has no access to Italy, so Italy does not need to be repaired right away, unless Gabriel wants to put one into Austria here with one of his 4 ops from U.S. Japan. But Gabriel needs to go to Libya. He needs to go 1 Zaire for sure. And then with his 4th, yeah, I guess he could go Austria. He could go Venezuela. A lot of things he could do with it. Middle East still has not scored. Ooh, that's an interesting play. So Gabriel decides to flip Lebanon. I did not see. Well, the fourth one went to Zaire. Okay. Wow. That gives Harry something to think about. I would have gone with the more conservative approach and just taken Libya. Um, but yeah, this is a big problem for Harry if Gabriel gets the scoring and wants to headline it, because Gabriel does have defectors, so he can freely headline that scoring. So now you may see now the poke of Egypt is not great, so he could flip Lebanon back. I think the better play is probably to just take Iraq if he's got a 3. If he's got a 2, if all you have is a 2, then you probably got to take Jordan, which really is painful. An interesting play here from Gabriel. I like the aggressiveness. He's behind. He wants to generate a big splash of VPs here. It's probably not how I would have played it, but I'm a little bit more boring and conservative, and so we'll see how this works out for Gabriel. Not a great play for him if Harry gets the scoring, because if Harry gets the scoring, he can just establish his presence, at his leisure. But this clearly has given Harry something to think about. Oh, and just a 1-up. Oh boy. Okay. So Gabriel makes a good read here. Now, does it pay off? Does he get the scoring? He does not. Oh, but a nice set of redraws. Okay. So Gabriel's little gambit there, flipping Lebanon, doesn't quite pay off because he doesn't get the scoring. So he's not going to be able to score a presenceless Middle East domination. However, he does get Purge. He redraws Marshall. And then he also gets he gets Containment Comic-Con. So he's got some pretty good ops in this hand. What he does not get is Decall. But Gabriel already in the bottom portion of Africa. So I would assume, yeah, Purge here is clearly the headline, followed by a nice big old coup. Actually, probably a small coup of Nigeria would be my assumption. And then questions abound as to what you want to do with the rest of this hand. With Europe at the absolute minimum, I don't know that you want to play Marshall. I don't know that you want to give up Marshall. It'd be very effective for Harry at this point. Don't really want to give Special either, but you'd probably just stomach that. Double space on the board potentially for either player. We'll see how they attack the space race here. Clearly Gabriel was hoping to grab the scoring and headline it, which would have given him 7 VPs. Still going to get a nice scoring out of it because I'm sure he'll be able to get Libya before Harry establishes his presence. So he's going to wind up with 4 at least. For those of you watching, it is turn 3. We've got just some video issues cutting off the top of the screen. Oh, that is rough. Because that also means that if Gabriel had headline Sock Govs and had Europe scoring, he would have been able to score a domination there. 2-op coup of Nigeria is the only play that makes sense and gets just enough. That was an anything but a 1 coup. And I know how often we all seem to roll ones on anything but a 1 coups in One Stab African Battlegrounds. But it's just enough, and under Purge, there certainly won't be a flip. Harry needs to get presence here in the Middle East. He's going to do that. So, yeah, I would just take Libya here and be satisfied. I don't know how important the second in Angola is. I think I'd fill South America first, given that Harry's under Purge. I don't know. I seriously doubt we're going to see a 4-op flipping Angola. I think a 4-op if Harry wanted to use a 4 to flip an African battleground, I think much more likely he would want to he'd want to flip Nigeria. Yep. So Gabriel decides to take Libya. I would expect we'll see Harry dump the scoring here under Purge. Doesn't want Gabriel to do anything like poke Saudi Arabia and force him to reestablish presence. So there's the Middle East scoring. It's 4 points. So I think the VP track is 3 blue right now. And space could be a consideration. Formosan, yeah, I don't know how much Burma helps you. I would definitely prioritize filling up South America. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, the U.S. is going to dominate Asia, barring a successful IP war. Formosa not really going to have much of an effect on that. We'll see if Gabriel's willing to give up on Europe as well by playing Marshall. UN of Decall. So just 1 op there, so South Korea doesn't get jammed. Yeah, that would have been an interesting play for Gabriel if he wanted to jam South Korea, and he would have had to give up some. He would have to give up the China card. He would have to give up some of these. So he would probably have to give up Marshall as well, and maybe not fill South America. But a jam of South Korea would have been interesting there. Ted Livermore certainly would have made that play. But Gabriel certainly will give containment. Question is, what does he want to do with Marshall? He's got at least 5 ops here. Two have got to go to Chile. I also like getting a couple into South Africa, given that, obviously VOA, always an issue in Africa. Oh, he's going to space defectors, and he's going to miss on the roll. Doesn't want to give up the VP, and there's SOC Govs. So Formosan, okay, so giving up Formosan makes the South Korea flip less helpful, because that means Harry could just take Taiwan, reestablish domination that way. And so Gabriel's going to hold Marshall Plan until turn 4. UN is gone. Yeah, second one in Panama. And I like a couple, I like at least 1 into South Africa here, I think. Yeah, Asia is not really going to change. Not sure what 1 West Germany gets you. A 3rd in Angola. Okay, so he is thinking about VOA just like I am. But I think 2 South Africa. Okay, all right. Well, 1 West Germany is the play. I'm just not sure how much that helps. Okay. So Suez redraw makes things interesting, and now, although same was true before, Harry not going to be able to reestablish domination in Europe, because he's only got 2 ops to fix this. So I assume he'll just go 1 France, 1 West Germany. No, of course, with containment, he's able to. He's able to fix with 3 ops, but still does not have domination. Oh, and a big break there as Gabriel draws Europe, which I think is a pretty good headline here. Brush War of Italy also possible, if he wants to get real aggressive with it. But Europe, I think it would have to be ABM. Marshall is gone, and Marshall wouldn't help anyway to get a non-battleground. So yeah, I think it would have to be ABM here in order to get Europe domination back. Yeah, I like the Europe scoring headline. Oh, ABM. Okay, yep. But on the bright side, that means Harry's using it for ops. He's just using it to place influence, and he's not getting a coup on Thailand. Or any other country. But of course, he will be able to coup after Gabriel does. Yeah, I like the decision from Gabriel. Just hope your opponent didn't draw ABM. A brush of Italy is fine, but then if you miss on the brush, there's a 50-50 chance. You probably have to score Europe immediately on AR1 and give up the coup, which is terrible. The question now is, what is Harry going to do with his other two ops? And I think maybe you go Mexico here. That is a country that needs to be taken at some point. Yep, that is exactly what he's going to do. And so 5 there for Harry. Okay, so now DEF CON is at 4. And so we'll see if we're going to get a big 4-op coup in Panama or Mexico potentially. Pakistan also a candidate. But you'd need a full flip of Pakistan. And even then, Formosan gives Dom back. Okay, so now Harry with a decision to make. He can coup, but if he does, he's going to give up Pakistan. I think if I were Harry, I'd probably take the coup and then just take Taiwan. But it'll depend on what's in Harry's hand. So Harry thinking about his next play. He can repair Pakistan and give up a second coup. Or he can forego, he can give up on Pakistan and coup in either Africa or South America. Harry, thank you for joining. Oh, interesting. Harry going to go ahead and dump the scoring. Doesn't take back Pakistan, just dumps the scoring right away. And Harry has joined us. Harry, thank you for the Mewtwo emojis. So that suggests potential weakness in Harry's hand. That he would give up the coup like that and not just take back Pakistan. Maybe he's afraid of the war. Oh, and a 6 in Panama. That was anything but a 6 coup. Would have been fine for Harry if he could just retake Panama. Instead, Gabriel flips the country, and that is a big roll. What is the VP track at now? It's at least 10. I think I am just not sure. And Harry tries the gutsy Panama realigns, gets him to go, and at +1. So flips back Panama with Junta. And now Gabriel flips back Panama with a brush war. So these Central American countries going back and forth. First blue at the start of the turn, then red on the coup, then blue on the realigns, and now red again on a brush war. Yes, okay. So VP track is now US +10. Well, now it's US +9. And Gabriel probably should have filled up Pakistan before that war. South African here is an interesting event. The problem is you don't. I think Gabriel does not want to give up mil-ops. I like the idea of the event for 1 South Africa, 2 Botswana. That's not bad. But then Harry can get a coup off though. So Gabriel's definitely going to want to go to space. I see he's probably delaying it as long as possible because he does not want to give up one small step. Oh, and there's Central America scoring. So perhaps I'm wrong, and Gabriel was right to just to get Panama before filling Pakistan back up. So I won't call Panama free now because it does give access there. Now, Gabriel puts a third into Brazil, which I'm a little confused about. I'm a little confused as to why we're seeing a third in Brazil over a second in Nigeria. So Gabriel gives up Marshall here with Europe scored. Not so bad. He wanted the 4 ops and took South Africa with it. So that's his 4th African battleground. Yep, and that's a good point. T Stark 3000. A third in Brazil makes sense. You're going to give up Panama, and so then you don't want Brazil getting poked. Which makes sense. I just thought Nigeria might be more important because it could get flipped. Harry certainly will be happy to see Marshall. I think Gabriel probably wants to take Uruguay at some point. So I like spacing the Pope if I'm Gabriel, and then it's always tough. You hate to see you hate to see it if Harry has South America scoring, but I probably would just give up Kennedy here. I very seriously doubt that Harry has Africa. Because if he did, he would have dumped it already before Gabriel took domination. So it's really just South America. So an AR-7 Kennedy makes sense to me here, and you just gamble a little bit that he doesn't have South America. But the other thing is that Harry used Junta on Panama. So I think he would have used it in South America if he had the scoring. Okay, 1 in Southeast Asia. Yeah, I like spacing the Pope here. If Harry has one small step, he has it. You can't play in fear of it forever. You really cannot give up the Pope in this situation. I'd much rather space the Pope than do this. I just don't think this is necessary. Oh, big event. Okay, going to take ABM back. All right, well, now you need to, I think, I think you need to play ops here. this is as safe as Kennedy gets. DEFCON is 4, so if Harry has the gunman, he will certainly... DEFCON is at 4, so if Harry has the gunman, he will want to just get rid of it now permanently. He won't want to discard it to Kennedy. I like giving up Kennedy right now. I certainly would not give up the Pope. I would have spaced the Pope last turn and then given up Kennedy now and held Panama. But you know what? Maybe Gabriel's got a better read of Harry than I do, and maybe Gabriel knows, for some reason, that Harry has South America scoring. Your only good scoring is South America. Well, Africa's a good scoring, but I'm fairly confident he doesn't have it. You're going to leave Poland at 1-1. That's so scary, even with Europe scored. Okay, I'm very confused by that decision. So Harry now gets a coup. Oh, and he misses on the roll. Okay. Yeah, I don't under. So two of his cards were. Yeah, I'm just. Okay, and there's South America. So now Kennedy much safer. Yeah, How I Learned is a good play here. Protect your battlegrounds. Lower DEFCON to 2 and then immediately score South America for your control. Well, no, you're not going to immediately score. Forget what I said. Well, maybe you would with ABM in Harry's hand. But, man, you don't want to give up Poland here. Even an ABM coup in South America, though, you'd have to roll a 5 in order to flip a country. Only a 1 in 3 chance to flip the country, and then... Okay, China. Okay, I'm sure Gabriel happy to see that. Yeah, you're going to lower it to 2, and you're either going to take Poland back or you're just going to score. He's going to score and take his 8, it looks like. Potentially conceding Poland here. Now, Warsaw is still in the discard, but Salt is gone, so just one more chance to draw it. And the VP track now back to even. Oh, nuke subs. So now you're just thinking about setting up trying to realign whatever country gets couped. I also would try and get arms race off because that's going to pretty quickly not become a thing. But yeah, any African country that gets couped here can be immediately realigned. Okay, yeah, I like this play here. Just that's often a great way to respond. Okay, yeah, great way to respond to nuke subs is just respond to those coups with realigns. Now, a big roll in Angola is an issue for Gabriel because he won't be able to realign it, but he can go back into Zaire. Oh, ABM for ops. Interesting he'd use ABM like that. Okay. Oh, Gabriel has joined the chat as well. Hi, Gabriel. So, sorry, I just was a little puzzled by your moves regarding Kennedy and the Pope, but looks like it's working out okay for you here because Poland's still just sitting at 1-1. Neither player has made a move there. Harry, and rightfully so, is preoccupied with his nuke subs coups in Africa. Africa's unscored. In fact, it is the only unscored region other than Southeast Asia. So getting coups in there, pretty darn important. So an early Kennedy here. Now I think I like maybe cultural to take back Algeria, or cultural event. Okay, instead of going to give up the early Kennedy, let's see what we get. You just hate to give the U.S. an opportunity to get more good nuclear subs coup cards. Okay, so a 3-card discard. And he takes Algeria with it. C5, and now Harry with 3 African battlegrounds. So grain sales has to go to space here. I think you have to just space it. I don't think you want to probably give up OAS, because that's going to be too Panama. But if Harry's filling Panama, that means he's not coupping. So maybe not the worst time to give up OAS. But I think you just want to get grain sales out of your hand as soon as possible. Okay, he's going to use cultural for the event. That makes sense. Nixon was used by Harry earlier, so Usuri is the only China card event now left in the deck. But I do hate AR7 having to be a trip to space. Five-year plan to take domination. Yeah, wonder if Harry drew the scoring or if he had it already. Gabriel misses on his space roll, and we'll see if Harry did get the scoring. Yeah, and sorry about that, M-0. We are zoomed in. There's a little bit of an issue with the video, just not able to get the last the edge of the screen, so not able to see the VP track clearly or what turn it is. Right now it is we've just hit turn 6. And Gabriel has drawn CIA along with a bunch of garbage. So I thought Warsaw was in the discard. That is my fault. It was in the deck. It is now in Gabriel's hand. So that's certainly got to be a comfort to him. And CRGs is a problem with Africa and Southeast Asia unscored. It's maybe even the perfect event to draw there. VOA probably would have been a little bit better, but certainly Harry not complaining. And Gabriel probably in his position where he's got to give up CIA. Because I don't think he wants to hold CIA till turn 7. This is not a very good hand to show with CIA either, but at least it doesn't include any scoring cards. Yep, going to give up CIA, and Harry is quagged, so whatever happens here, and I assume this has to be a coup to prevent Gabriel from getting a coup off in one of the one stab, but it could also just be one Nigeria. We'll see. Or excuse me, one Algeria, and that's exactly what he does. So a one-op coup, and not enough, but that is enough to where Portuguese will flip it. Okay, Gabriel decided to take back his Southeast Asian countries instead, figuring he's going to get dominated in Africa. I think that's probably a good decision. So I would imagine if Harry has Africa, he will drop it right now for a nice 6. If he doesn't, I suspect he'll protect Angola and maybe take Botswana as well. Oh no, going to go for Poland anyway. Oh, and that was because of Warsaw. So yeah, didn't even notice that. Yeah, not sure I like the decision there by Gabriel to punt on Warsaw there with Poland still at 1-1. I like holding on to that for a little while. Omit for influence. And all this suggests that Harry does not have the scoring. But maybe he does. It's possible he does, that he really wanted to get ops into Poland, but I think I would have scored Africa first. And there's Kitchen, active, always a good sign for the U.S. And this is tricky here because there's a good chance that Harry has one small step in hand. Certainly, Gabriel does not want to give up missile envy. Excuse me, does not want to give up puppets. Sadat was discarded by Harry, so taking Egypt back does make sense. We may not see Sadat again. And puppets is a problem because that could go one Nicaragua, one Haiti. And there is Southeast Asia. Now he's going to go to space. Hits on the roll, and we'll probably see one small step here. But I think that was just an event you could not give up. So we'll see if if Harry has it. It looks like he doesn't have it. I think that would be a no-brainer play here. Oh, VOA. Okay, yep, VOA definitely a card you want to get back into the reshuffle. Let's see if he does get one small step. And wow, that is terrible luck. So Harry gets one small step. He's going to be able to headline it for a couple of VPs. Gabriel gets the gunman. He gets Africa. And he also redraws grain sale, so he's going to have to space that. And Gabriel going to hope to win an IP war here. But so Che is interesting. Let's see, the country count right now in Africa is sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 3. So Che cooing and flipping two countries in Africa would change the domination situation. So Gunman, probably the right headline. See what Harry has. I don't think you're holding Gunman, so you might as well use it now. Oh, Bear Trap. Yep. One small step. Wow, and a colonial redraw. So Africa domination definitely going to be happening for Harry. So I think Gabriel's just going to take his coup. And then dump grain sales to the trap. Needs a big roll here with just a 1-up. He's going to have a 4. And just gets a 3. So not enough. Dumps grain sales. Hits on the roll. Thank goodness for small favors. And Harry does know about Che. There's also 2 4-ups in Gabriel's hand as well. So maybe he can fight Dom with those cards. Che also might help him get arms race off. And then an IP war in Asia could be very large. Okay. So just going to take back Angola, put one into South Africa. Gabriel looks like he's going to fight for South Africa first before Che, which makes sense. Okay, so instead, Gabriel decides to take back South Africa and just put the one in Panama. And so now Harry can fill up Panama, which he will do. Seems like a good time for Che. Zimbabwe and Cameroon, I think, are pretty obvious targets. There's a 6 and a 3, so just enough there in Cameroon. So 6 countries to 5 now. So a simple coup back in Saharan or Cameroon will flip domination right back. I think Harry's going to get this domination off. The question is, Gabriel's going to want to get arms race off. He's going to want to get an IP war off, and then he's got to score. So 3 of his 4 action rounds are spoken for. Oh, and I forgot of course about CRGs. I think it's time for Gabriel to. I would probably get rid of arms race. Yeah, you got to use arms race or the scoring. Scoring clearly isn't getting any better, but arms race also isn't getting any worse. How I learned is gone. So arms race could wait an action round. Another option is going to space. Harry does have 1 small step in his hand. Gabriel would love to just sneak that out from under him, but that leaves him with no events. Yep, and then there is 1 small step. That leaves him with no ops, rather, because this is certainly an event. Huge roll coming up to determine how Asia's going to look. Gabriel really needs this one, and he misses again. So 2 misses on India at 1 and 3 shot. That leaves Harry with 3 dominations on the board to 2 for Gabriel, including the South America control. I think you dump the scoring here. Clearly it is not getting better. Not quite sure what Gabriel's thinking about, because I don't think he can. He's down in country count 7-4. He's not going to be able to stop domination. Now he does know what's in Harry's hand, but I guess 1 Cameroon, 1 Saharan states, 2 Tunisia would stop Dom. Gabriel's wondering if he can weasel out of this domination. Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Now, Harry, I haven't kept track of what cards Harry has in hand. I believe Harry has OPEC and Muslim Revolution. So those cards do need to go to space. Muslim doesn't necessarily have to go to space. Muslim Revolution could be used. Yeah, screwed it up royally. Not sure that Gabriel has screwed it up royally. I don't think Gabriel, with CRGs in Harry's hand, I don't think there was any chance Gabriel was going to be able to get out of that domination. Okay, he does the coups there to get mill ops. Yeah, I'm not sure how important that coup was. Because now I believe Harry only has Muslims and OPEC. Yeah, he's got to go to space, so he can't respond to that. Misses on the roll. Okay, so here we are, turn 8. And Not a very good hand for Gabriel. He does have Junta, which I think is going to be his headline. Chernobyl's a safe play on AR7. AWACS. Muslims is in Harry's hand, so you don't want to play AWACS until Muslims is gone. Omit can just be a nice poke in Saudi Arabia for nothing. Yeah, and Gabriel's saying he does not. He thinks he needs to. You should have used those ops elsewhere, which does make sense. You're clearly not going to realign. I mean, okay, so you're going to realign Colombia. Okay. And Gabriel going to take advantage of his AR7 play to flip over India. I like the decision. Harry's headline of CMC worked out well for him, but if Gabriel hadn't headlined Junta, then the lowering DEFCON 2 is actually probably a good thing for Gabriel because he wanted to just flip over India. Yep, and no surprise there with Formosan in effect. NATO's in effect. Oh yeah, I think the special relationship needs to be used immediately, I think. Right now, country count 7-4. Nothing that Gabriel's really going to be able to do to stop Dom. I don't know that Malaysia was that important there. But yeah, one Guatemala, one Mexico is good. Sets up those realigns. Yep, okay, so taking Mexico and saying just go ahead and realign, and I'm going to hope you miss. Will Harry miss? He will. And now you get a nice coup on Guatemala if you're willing to remove Cuban Missile Crisis, which I think you are. Yeah, and that was another decision that Gabriel made. I don't know. I think I would have liked to see Gabriel just remove Cuban Missile Crisis right away, coup Colombia, and then rather than having to wait till now, because you don't want to give up those MilOps points. Now that's a big roll in Guatemala. Save Mexico for him. An omit poke of Saudi seems. Oh boy. Oh boy. Wow. Okay. So that is a nice play from Harry. Just unfortunate for Gabriel. He didn't want to give up those MilOps points. And so just puts one in Cuba, and now he gets removed entirely. And he just had to give up Ortega, a card you probably want to hold on to. But, yep, and there's AWACS going to space. I think I might have done the omit poke first, because AWACS is essentially free once Muslims is gone. And there's Chernobyl. So I wonder if we'll see... Tear down this wall is still around. But so is Warsaw, to be fair. Yep, and there goes Muslims. Yeah, I think I would have liked to see Gabriel hold on to AWACS until after Harry played Muslims, rather than spacing it first. Certainly Harry will just take back presence here in Saudi Arabia. Oh no, just goes Israel. Yeah, that makes much more sense with the poke in Panama. So, and Camp David is in effect, so AI war not a factor. There's South America and Middle East scoring. So that's certainly nice. And there's SOC Govs, which could change things in Europe if Gabriel only had access in Italy, which he does not. Yeah, South African unrest, not a particularly strong headline, but I think it's the best you've got. Potentially SOC Govs, SOC Govs would at least stop Harry from dumping Europe scoring in the headline. Oh boy. And the good news is that Perch is not complete disaster. Oh, he's just going to score right away, not coup, because of war games. So he's going to give up a coup here. And then Middle East will be 4, assuming this coup doesn't go to the Middle East. And then you've got a space tear down this wall, and you're just going to have to give up OMIT, or, well, probably giving up both OMIT and OAS, and you're holding Ussuri. Yeah, you can't take that back. I think you score here. Yep. I think you've got to score and be happy with your 3. Yeah, exactly what Gabriel's going to do. VP track turns red for the first time in a while. Yeah, tear down this wall, goes to space. Then you've got a bunch of one-off plays. SOC Govs, maybe an event just to be annoying. Oh, and Sadat redraw is very nice. But hey, at least for Gabriel, he does not. He is able to get the scoring out before Sadat happens. As it stands, though, looks like he's going to be dominated in Asia, in Europe, in Africa. The Middle East is going to be even at best for him. And then South America, he does control, but it is scored. Gabriel misses on yet another space roll. But this one looking good for Harry. Latin American debt crisis, and they're just going to give up the extra influence, figuring that South America is a lost cause anyway. Gabriel was able to get 16 VPs out of South America, so certainly happy about that. And certainly happy that OAS is not a big deal to him right now. I think Ussuri has to be held and you play the others. Reformer and UN gone. So Harry gets away with just leaving 3 in Italy. I'm just going to take a Central American domination, but give it right back. Yeah, I like this decision. Nope, instead just going to take 2 out of the battleground, which I think is fine. I think this just gets repaired either way. And Sock Govs. Yep, Sock Govs would have been a nice headline for Gabriel, but he just was not able to, he just couldn't get access to Italy. And terrorism for ops, just to fix. And we move on to turn 10. Central America scoring. Oh boy, Star Wars and Cal. So De Gaulle and, well, no, Cal is unplayable because it gives the US ops, so forget about that. Star Wars is spaceable. But yeah, De Gaulle is the play. Oh, yeah, and there's defectors. That is a good defectors. So, Olympics to try and reshape Africa. And then Brush War is going to hit probably Panama. I don't think there's any harm in taking and trying a big coup on Panama here. So you get a 5. Okay, he does get the roll, and that gives him Central America domination. Does get rid of flower power. So 2 VP lead now. Yep. And yeah, big coup on Panama. And Max pointing out correctly that, yeah, you're going to brush Pakistan here. Especially if Asia is not scored on this action round. Still, this is quite a terrible hand for Gabriel to have to deal with. Even if he wins his brush war. Oh boy, ABM for back on Panama misses. Okay, now so you can refill. Oh, okay. Think about it. And again, he gets Warsaw. He could use it to clear Harry out of Poland, but that only saves him. I guess it saves him 2 VPs, 3 if he refills it. Gabriel's going to have to give up Ussuri here. He's going to have to score Central America. He's going to brush Pakistan. He's running out of ops. And yeah, brush is an event. Central America scoring obviously is a scoring. Ussuri is worse than an empty action round. Star Wars and Soviets are completely unplayable. So he really only has 2 ops left for this turn. That is going to stop Central domination. And I think you just got to score. Take your 2 here. Yep, take your 2. Okay, now a 4 VP lead. Oh, and there's Europe. That is huge. That is going to do it. 8 VPs. Just a huge swing for Harry that scoring comes out. I like this. Oh, misses on the brush war. Oh, that is just enormous. That he had to have that one. Wow. Yeah. It wouldn't have flipped domination in Asia, but it would have stopped Harry's domination and then made Ussuri a lot more playable. Now, but you've got to play it anyway. And there's domination in the Middle East. Star Wars to space, misses on the roll. Not that that matters at all. And Harry hits on his roll. Oh, and a 1. Okay, retakes Dom, and now you just got to give up Usuri. No question there, just going to jam, and so you probably fix. Okay, Thailand doesn't really matter that much at this particular moment. And we come to the last action round of the game. Harry has this one. He'll certainly fix Cuba. Yeah, and then just going to overprotect it just because why not? And here we go. So 15. So 22 VP win there by Harry. This one with Europe scoring, coming out, and then losing that brush war really made it no contest there. But a nice win for Harry. Game 1 of this best of 3 goes to him. We will have game 2 for you. I think pretty soon, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly when they're going to play. But thanks everybody for watching, and we'll be back next time. So congratulations to Harry for this win. More Twilight Struggle to come for Atlantic League. But until next time, that was fun. But now it's done. So long, everybody.